Hope all is well. Today we are going to discuss the lesson atmosphere. So in the previous class I discussed about the natural realms of the earth. I said you that we discussed that there are four realms of the earth. The first one we call it as lithosphere, second one hydrosphere, third one atmosphere, and the fourth one is biosphere. Already we completed the explanation part of lithosphere and hydrosphere. Now this is the time to know about atmosphere in detail. Before going to enter into the lesson, just keep textbook behind you along with the pencil in your hand and running notes. Whatever the point you find important in your textbook, underline that and just copy it into your running notes. Even the points in the inbox also you should do like that only. If not, many more points what we missed off in this lesson, you missed that also. You will face a problem at the time of your exams. Okay. Now, here, as I said you before, the third realm of the earth is called atmosphere. What is the third realm? Atmosphere. That atmosphere is the word which derives from the word atmos plus spera. What do you understand by atmos? Atmos means vapor or gas. Vapor or gas. Spera means ball shaped. Isn't it or not? So, the layer which consists of vapor or gas is called atmosphere. Clear all of you? In the lithosphere, the layer which consists of rocks or stones is called lithosphere. Hudor is a word which is derived, hydro is a word which is derived from the word hudor, which means water bodies. So, hydrosphere means the layer of water bodies. Now, the third realm is called atmosphere. Atmosphere means vapor or gas, whereas the layer which consists of all the types of gases which makes life possible on this earth is called atmosphere. Yes, here we breathe in oxygen, isn't it or not? We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Even what we breathe out is very useful for other living organisms like other living parts, other living things like plants. Is a plant, trees, etc. etc. Okay, so oxygen is a gas, carbon dioxide is a gas, where these two are the took active part in this atmosphere. Isn't it or not? Yeah. Now, if we compare this atmosphere, makes life possible on it because the presence of so many gases in that. If not, atmosphere is nothing. Okay. In simple words, atmosphere means air. Catch at the point, all of you. Atmosphere means air. Air consists of many gases, isn't it or not? Yes, air consists of so many gases, which makes us harm, which may not, isn't it? Yeah. So if we compare an atmosphere with a sea of gases, atmosphere is a sea of gases. We are all the living things, living organisms. We are all swimming in that gases. Okay. If and atmosphere is like a thin blanket upon the earth, which consists of so many gases, which makes life possible on it. Catch at the point. Now, here, what are the topics we are going to discuss? What are the topics we are going to discuss? Now, the first topic is structure of the atmosphere. Structure of the atmosphere. Next, pressure belts and planetary winds. Pressure belts and planetary winds. Next, weather and climate, humidity and precipitation, types of rainfall. See, all these are related to the atmosphere, isn't it or not? Okay. It seems in the hydrosphere, we discussed about hydrological cycle format. Whereas in lithosphere, we discussed about what it is called work of wind, work of water, work of glaciers, etc. etc. Isn't it? Now here, structure of the atmosphere plays a very important role to know this lesson in detail. Catched? Yeah. First, before going enter into structure of atmosphere, there are some what we call it as particles. Particles which are present in the atmosphere. Which are present in the atmosphere to add color to the nature. To add color to the nature. Those particles we call it as particulates. We call it as particulates. These particulates are the important things, important material in the atmosphere that present, which adds color to the nature. That means water, it seems in blue color. it looks like blue color. Whereas greenery, vegetation, evergreen, everything in light green color, dark green color, whereas medium green color, isn't it or not? At that time, due to the presence of these particulates only, all these, the nature ultimately be colorful. Okay, nature is colorful due to the presence of particulates. How these particulates emerge అంటే particulates అనేవి how they extract అసలు అవి ఎలా వస్తాయి due to the burning of some natural substances these particulates will appear. See, for example, if you burn a paper, what it will happen? If you burn a paper, automatically it burns, then it turns into a small black like particles which are very light in weight, and they completely go up and they merge in the atmosphere, isn't it or not? Those small particles which are seen to a naked eye to some extent, those we call it as particulates. Those particles completely they become ash, and they become smoke, and they become ash, and they ultimately at last they merge in the air. Those substances we call it as particulates. These particulates are useful to add color to the nature. It is a very important for your keyword children, particulates. Next, coming to the structure of atmosphere. You read in your first lesson our Earth's interior, isn't it? So like Earth's interior means under the Earth's surface, whereas atmosphere structure in the sense above us. Okay, above us, not down to the, not low lying under the earth. It is above the earth. That means the air which surrounds us, isn't it on earth? So what is the structure of that? Means the structure of the atmosphere consists of two types. The first one is called homosphere, and the second one is called heterosphere. First one is called homosphere, second one is called heterosphere. Just imagine the Earth's interior children, crust, mantle, core again divided into some parts, etc., etc. Likewise, structure of atmosphere divides into two parts. One is called homosphere and the other one is called heterosphere. Catched all of you? First of all, you pause my video and just write up to that whatever I said in your running notes. Then again continue. If not, you will get confused if you write after all completion of the lesson. Next, homosphere is again divided into three parts: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere. Catched? Got it? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere. And heterosphere is divided into two parts: thermosphere, exosphere. Thermosphere and exosphere. Just have a complete detailed look about all these parts of the lesson. Okay, come on. First of all, troposphere. The Earth's interior, Earth's crust, mantle, core. Here also stratosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Shall we enter into this? Yeah. Troposphere. Troposphere is called as a lowermost layer. Why it is called as lowermost layer? Can anyone? Why it is called as lowermost layer? Lowermost layer in the sense because Earth's interior means crust is the uppermost layer because it is situated under the Earth's surface, isn't it? Atmosphere is above us, so that's why the firstmost layer, that what we call it as lowermost layer. The firstmost layer means lowermost layer. When we are going up, the firstmost layer we call it as exosphere, not exosphere. More than that there are so many layers, but we get information up to only exosphere. Got it? In our view, according to this, exosphere is the uppermost layer according to this, but it is not only the uppermost layer. There are so many layers about that. Okay, first of all, we will discuss about the lowermost layer called troposphere. Next, second lowermost stratosphere, and the next one is mesosphere. Let us have a look about all these are the parts of homosphere together called as homosphere. Now, the height of the troposphere is 18 kilometers, whereas 50 kilometers. Mesosphere is 80 kilometers. 18, 50, 80 kilometers. Height means altitude. Okay, above the sea level, altitude. This just remember that point, children, everyone. Height means altitude. Okay, height. The troposphere height is at up to 18 kilometers. Troposphere, we call that layer as troposphere.
Up 18 to 50 we call it as strato. 50 to 80 we call it as mesosphere. Catch everyone. Now next, here it contains troposphere contains 75% of the gases present in the atmosphere. So more than half of the gases are present in the troposphere only. See how important this first layer is. Okay, 75% of the gases are present in the troposphere only. Next, here temperature decreases with altitude, that we call it as normal lapse rate, NLR. What it is called as? NLR, normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate means wherever the temperature decreases as we go height, that what we call it as normal lapse rate. Means temperature decreases, we can't able to take our breath. That's why the patients who does not have sound health, they should carry oxygen cylinders while they are flying in the air. That means if they choose aircraft, if they choose airplanes, helicopters, etc., etc. Got it? So, in this layer, temperature decreases as we go up into the atmosphere. What we call it as altitude. So, the important, once again I am telling about troposphere. The height of troposphere is 18 kilometers. 75% of the 75% of all the gases are present in the troposphere. The main important is temperature decreases as we go up. That means the temperature decreases with altitude. Simply, temperature decreases with altitude. Catched? So, shall we go into stratosphere? Yeah, the height of the stratosphere is 50 kilometers. The importance, the feature of the stratosphere is a weather phenomenon takes place here. What is called weather phenomenon, children? Can anyone? Weather phenomenon in the sense? Nothing but weather phenomenon in the sense hydrological performs well in this layer. Means we discussed or no, there are 6 parts of hydrological cycle. In that hydrological cycle, the first one is called evaporation, second one is called transportation, third one is called condensation, fourth one is called precipitation. Keep it as a precipitation, runoff and groundwater. Whereas the first three, evaporation, transportation and condensation, takes place completely. First two, evaporation and transportation, takes place in this layer, in the layer called stratosphere. Here, weather phenomenon means that evaporation, the formation of the transportation of water through air into the clouds. So, evaporation and transportation takes place in the stratosphere layer. Okay, and the important feature of this layer is, you all know that ozone layer. What is the importance of ozone layer? Everyone can? Yeah, the importance of ozone layer is nothing but it saves our lives from the harmful rays from the sun. That means ultraviolet rays, UV rays. So, the ozone layer is present in this layer only. Okay, ozone, due to pollution, now in the present days, the ozone layer get damaged. That's why harmful rays are reaching directly to the skin of us. That's why so many skin diseases, likewise problems, problems in the present days we are seeing. Okay, now coming to mesosphere. So, shall I repeat stratosphere? Yeah, coming to mesosphere. The height of mesosphere is 80 kilometers. 80 kilometers, from 50 to 80 kilometers. We call it as mesosphere. So, here, here what is the feature of mesosphere? Meteoroids. Meteoroids burn here. Meteoroids burn here. You know, meteoroids, comets like this, what we call it as the what is that, the things that have happened in the universe, meteoroids, comets, isn't it or not? We discussed already in your previous classes about meteoroids, comets, etc., etc. So meteoroids burn here. Okay, next, temperature decreases with the altitude. Temperature decreases with the altitude. These are the three important layers of homosphere. Now coming to heterosphere, the next one, in that there are two parts. The first one is called thermosphere and the next one is called exosphere. This thermosphere extends up to the height of 400 kilometers. Up to the height of 400 kilometers. The importance of this thermosphere mostly is satellite images. It is helpful to get satellite images. What? Thermosphere. Yes, thermosphere is an important part of heterosphere. Even though it is called as the fourth most layer, it is the first part of heterosphere. Its height is 400 kilometers, and satellite images we may find here. Next, exosphere. It is the uppermost layer. Not according to this, this is the uppermost layer. But geologists also did not get any information about the exosphere. So nothing is there to discuss here. No information. Okay, I hope everyone understood the structure of atmosphere. Now coming to the next one is called pressure belts. Pressure belts are divided there. So pressure belts means yesterday in your 8th class you discussed about in your third lesson earth movements and seasons. What we discussed in that, children? Earth movements and seasons. There are some temperature belts which regulates temperature. Same as to regulate pressure, pressure belts are useful. Okay, these pressure belts are divided into how many pressure belts are there? Two. Come on. These pressure belts are divided into three parts. Okay, pressure in order to regulate pressure of air, wind. We call it as pressure belts. So this one we call it as equatorial low pressure belt. Next, subtropical high pressure belt. It seems you understand. That's why I said you to keep textbook behind you to understand the short forms. Next, polar low pressure belt. Polar high pressure belt. So these three are pressure belts which regulates the pressure of the wind, isn't it? Now this equatorial low pressure belt is also called as equatorial doldrums. It is very important to remember. What do you understand by doldrums? Here, if the author if the questionnaire want to question you about this, explain, just define about equatorial doldrums. That's it. Then you will get confusion whether to what is called equatorial doldrums. Means nothing but it is equatorial low pressure belt. So in simply to keep in your mind easy, these pressure belts are very important to regulate the pressure of the wind. That's it. Okay, just have a complete read in your textbook, but you should keep in your mind in an easy way in order to regulate the pressure. That's it. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the classification of winds. So planetary winds means I will discuss about that. Before going to know about planetary winds, we have to discuss about the classification of winds. How many types the winds are divided? Winds are divided. Winds are divided into three parts, children. Planetary winds. Okay. Next one, seasonal winds. And the next one, local winds. Planetary winds, seasonal winds and local winds. These planetary winds are divided into three parts. Trade winds, westerlies. Westerlies, I'll write a full form. Okay, trade winds, westerlies and polar winds. Trade winds, westerlies and polar winds. These are the types of planetary. So these trade winds we call it as trade winds. In tropical areas we call it as trade winds. In temperate areas we call it as westerlies. In polar areas we call it as polar winds. Catched all of you? So in tropical areas the planetary winds are called trade winds. In temperate areas it is called as westerlies. In polar areas it is called as polar winds. Planetary winds, in simple way to understand, the winds which are constant throughout the year is called planetary winds. Simple. The winds which are constant throughout the year is called planetary winds. Now coming to excuse me, seasonal winds. Seasonal winds in the sense, according to the season, the winds changed. The winds may change or may not, whatever it may be. But according to the season, the winds have their emergence. Yeah. You know that seasonal winds means we may feel hot winds in summer. Okay, somewhat cool breezes in spring season, isn't it or not? and we may experience cool winds in what? In winter season. Likewise, according to the season, these seasonal winds will change. Now coming to the local winds. And in simple words, we may say that basing upon the monsoon, these winds has their shape, has their emerge in the air. Now coming to the local winds. Local winds we divide into two types: hot local winds, cold local winds. And the which the winds which are caused according to the local temperatures is called local winds. According to the local temperatures, the winds will change. That what we call it as local winds. It is divided into two types: hot local winds and cold local winds. The here hot local winds examples are Chinook. It is also called as Chinook, no problem. And the next one is Loo. These two are the examples of hot local winds. And cold local winds are Pampero, and the next one is Puna, Mistral. These are very important for your 1 mark answers, children. Just write carefully in your running notes. Examples of this is this, and this is cold local winds. That's my point, all of you. This is about pressure belts and planetary winds.